When installing posts, make sure that you run a string line across so that the posts are exactly where they're supposed to be, and run a long tape measure, a real tape all the way down so that you break the post in the exact spots they're supposed to be. If it is a 6-foot tall fence, you're going to have 8-foot spans. If it is a 8-foot tall fence, you're going to have a 6-foot span. You're going to shorten that because it's taller. You want more post for more strength. But what you have to remember is your runners. So if your longest runner is, say, 12 foot, they're 8 foot tall, that means I need to break my post in the center of the 12 all the way down. So 12, 24, 36, and so on. That way I know exactly where my posts need to go. Make sure that all of the tightening bolts are facing the same direction. It's easy to flip that over and have one here, one here. You're constantly trying to move back and forth to figure out where you have to tighten it. It's so much easier if you have them all on the same side. And then if you have to do any tightening later down the road, it's just easier to spot. Now this fence is extremely unique because I have a couple of factors going on. I have a tilted down section here. I have an inner fence, an outer fence. I have a lot of power lines. I have 6 foot versus 8 foot. This fence is what goes all the way around on the inside of the customer's yard. So we're going to try to make it where it looks nice. I'm probably going to slope here, and I'm probably going to leave this section, but maybe put pickets on this side, because we also have a big tree trunk up here that we don't want to cut into. That's the main part of this tree next door. Totally installed. I think it turned out really good. We got rid of most of the V. I think it'll stain great. All right, another quick tip on the rails. When you're setting your top rail, I don't want it too low to where I have a huge amount of my picket at the top. The big reason is the picket can warp over time. So I like to shorten that. So I like, right now that's about 10 inches. I will cut that in half to about 5. Hey guys, I hope you're getting something out of the video today. If you would like to learn a little bit more, go a little bit more in depth, be sure you check the description, because I'm going to leave a link to a free fencing PDF guide that will give you a lot more information. So once I dig the holes for the posts, and I'm going to actually put the post in the ground, I'm going to use a bag of concrete. I'm going to dig that hole to the depth that my surrounding area requires, what my frost line is. Here in Texas, it's about 24 inches. So I'm going to dig 24 inches down. Usually I'll back that off just a couple of inches so that when I go to set the post, I'll use something like this, which is a banging tool, and I will bang it the few inches down into the ground, so that it holds a little bit, and then I can actually pour the concrete in, and then I will check for plumb. Checking for plumb is pretty easy. Once you have the concrete in, you've got it knocked a little bit into the ground so it kind of stays nice and steady. You're going to use a level like this, and you are going to check the level. Make sure that you're exactly in the center. I'm going to check this direction, and then I'm going to check the fence line direction. Those are the 2 areas that I need, and I'm perfect here. Now my level is an 8-foot level, and it is going to be magnetic. It makes it really easy with these type of posts. So let's talk for a second about why it is so important that you actually have this plumb. If I have a 12-foot runner and it is at the bottom reaching my bracket, these are your brackets right here, and I'm able to screw that on at the bottom. If I'm out of plumb and I'm leaning to the left, now my 12-foot runner is not going to make it to the bracket. If it's way over here, I'm going to be short, which means I'm going to be running back to Home Depot, Lowe's, whoever it is that you actually get your lumber from, and you're going to be buying longer lumber. So it's going to take you longer to actually complete the fence. And on top of everything else, your fence is going to look like it's leaning. So you want this extremely plumb. If you're going to use something like, this board here, which I call this a rot board, a lot of people call them kickers, but I'm going to put it at the bottom. It helps keep animals in, and it keeps the actual picket off of the ground, because 9 out of 10 fences that fail are going to be from rot. It's either going to rot on a wooden post, or it is going to rot from the bottom of the pickets. Okay, a couple more things when it comes to the runners. First of all, you're going to notice that I'm using a 2x4 runner. A lot of guys will put 2x3 runners up. They save a little bit of money by doing that. But guys, you're spending, a lot of money putting up this fence. Do it right. Go ahead and use a 2x4. It's going to last a lot longer. You're also going to notice that this is a non-treated board. I have 3 options. I'm putting up cedar pickets. I want to stain immediately. I can go ahead and use a non-treated board, and I can go ahead and stain and protect it after, as soon as it's up and when I spray everything. Or I could use a treated board, but I'm going to have to wait probably 5-6 weeks and let it dry out before it will accept stain. And then the third is to go ahead and buy cedar 2x4s if you can find them. They're hard to find in the 2x4. You'll find a lot of them in 2x3, but you're going to pay when you do find them. Instead of spending, $4 or $5 for this, runner, I'm going to spend probably $20 a piece on the other. Now that is quite a bit of difference when you have 4 of them all the way down a fence. So I'm going to do that, and it's going to be on the other side. The pretty side is facing, towards the actual customer over here. So they're not going to really notice the fact that it's stained slightly different. And once you've stained it 2 or 3 times, it will end up blending and actually matching, because every, 24 to 36 months, you're going to be restaining anyway.